Yeah, it's recording now. Okay, now I am sharing my screen. Okay, so you can see here. Is my screen is visible to you? Hello,
Visible, sir.
hello. Okay, thank you. So in this class, first we are going to discuss about the speed control techniques. So we have completed the DC motor characteristics. Okay, so now we'll see about the speed control techniques of a speed control methods of a DC motor. As it visible now? The speed control, what I have written here, is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. We'll see the speed control methods of a DC motor uh, according to the speed equation. So the speed of the DC motor can be varied with according to the speed equation of a DC motor. So how the speed equation can be obtained according to the back EMF equation. So back EMF equation is nothing but pi ZNP by 60A, which is equal and which is equal to generated EMF equation of a DC generator. Okay, so we can also call it as a back EMF in case of a DC motor. So the equation is this pi Z and P by 60A. According to this, what is meant by pi? Pi is a flux and Z is a armature conductors and N is a speed. Okay, and P is a poles of a DC generator, and A is a number of parallel paths. Okay, it depends on the windings. Okay, now I want a speed equation. What is in this equation? N represents the speed. N represents the speed. So we are talking about the speed control methods. So speed, according to this equation, speed equation can be written as speed equation N is equals to 60 into A into EB by pi ZP. Okay, so which implies, so you can see here N is, so this 60 is constant value and A is constant, it depends on the winding, so we take it as constant. And here the two parameters are all constant. Why? Because this depends on the construction of a DC motor. Okay, so now if we take these parameters are constant, we can written as EB by pi. So this is the speed equation of a DC motor. This is the speed equation. Okay, so the speed of a DC motor can be varied by either by varying the back EMF of a motor, either by varying the flux of a DC motor. So speed of a DC motor can be varied by two methods here. Okay, either by varying the back EMF, either by varying the flux. Okay, now we'll see about speed control methods. So there are three methods actually. So first I am talking about a flux control method. So in this method, we are controlling the flux. That means we are varying the flux. We are varying the flux means here, so at that time, EB is taken as constant. According to the speed equation, at that time, if you are varying the flux means, here pi parameter is varied. So what is the equation? N is inversely proportional to flux, provided EB is taken as constant. EB is constant. Okay. If EB is taken as constant, then N is inversely proportional to phi. Okay. Flux, what happens to speed? Speed is getting varied according to this relation. Okay, so in this control method, the flux is changed by some using a some resistance. Okay, so resistance, if the resistance in the field circuit is varied, so what happens to field current? Field current is varied. If the field current is varied, according to the flux will also change. If the flux is changed means speed will also change. Okay, so this is about a flux control method. We will detail learn about later. Okay, so this is the first method, and second method is about armature control method. Armature resistance control method. So this is the second method, armature resistance control method. So by varying the armature resistance here, so that means we are adding the external resistance to the armature. So what happens? External resistance, if you add the external resistance to armature resistance, resistance is increased. If resistance is increased, what happens to IA? IA value will decrease. If IA decreases, what happens to IRA? IRA will decrease. If IRA decreases, what happens to EB? EB will increase. If EB increases, what happens to speed? Speed will increase. So in this way, we'll get the speed can be controlled by using this armature resistance control method. Okay, so this is also second method. Okay, this is also used as a speed control method of a DC motor. So there are two methods to control a speed of a DC motor. We'll see one by one now. So first one is a flux control method, and second one is a armature resistance control method. Okay, have you understood up to now?
सर स्लोगा चेक करो
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. As it clear so far?
यस सर
Hello.
Yes, sir.
So now we'll see about a flux control method. First method is a flux control method. So how many ways we can change the speed? Two ways. Of a DC motor, we can control the speed in two ways. Okay. So either by varying the flux, either by varying the back EMF value. Okay. So we'll see the first method. First method is a flux control method. That means in this method, the flux is controlled. Okay. How the flux is controlled? By increasing the resistance in the field circuit. By increasing the resistance in the field circuit, we can get the current is decreased, field current is decreased. If the field current is decreased, what happens to flux? Flux will follow the current. Okay. If the current is decreased means flux will also decrease. If the flux is decreased means according to speed equation, we can say that N is inversely proportional to phi. So we can get the speed controlled. Okay. There is an ammeter here. Okay, this is a circuit diagram to conduct a flux control method. Okay, so in this method, above rated speeds are possible. The advantage of this method is above rated speeds are achieved by using this control method. Okay, so that means suppose if the nameplate details on the suppose the rating of the DC motor is about 5 HP. Okay, so the rated current is about 20 amperes. That is a rated current, that is a IL value. Okay, specified a rated current value, and this is the output power rating value of a DC motor, and it is also already mentioned the rated speed on the nameplate details. So this is the rated speed, suppose we are giving. Okay, so 1500 rpm. Rpm means revolutions per minute or rotations per minute. Okay, so suppose this is the rated speed, 1500 rpm is the rated speed. So by using this method, this flux control method, we can achieve up to 2000 rpm, which is greater than the rated speed. So that means the above rated speeds are possible by conducting this method. Okay, suppose in industries there is a particular requirement. If the machine is able to run at a is made to run at a 3000 rpm, but the machine rating is about a 2000 rpm only. At that time we will connect in this manner. Okay, so in order to achieve a high rated speeds or above rated speeds. Okay, understood? This is the particular advantage of this flux control method. Okay, so now we'll see how the above rated speeds are possible by conducting this experiment. Okay, so this ammeter indicates IL, and this is a 3-point starter. 3-point starter. So I will tell the what is the necessity of a 3-point starter. Up to here clear? Any doubts? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Sir.
Up to here clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, so this ammeter indicates the line current value, which is indicated as IL. Okay, and this ammeter indicates the field current value. Why? Because it is in series with a field winding, so it is indicated as a field current. This ammeter indicates the field current value, and this ammeter indicates the line current value. So by using this is a shunt motor. This is a shunt motor. You can see here the field winding is connected in parallel with a armature, and it is connected in parallel with a supply. So this is a shunt motor. This is basically a shunt motor. Okay, we are talking about a shunt motor speed control methods. Okay, in your syllabus it is there. So only for shunt motors. Okay, for shunt motors speed control techniques we are using as flux control method and armature resistance control method. There are two methods. Okay, we are talking about first flux control method. Okay, so now I will tell the procedure. So here the 3-point starter is used for to start the DC motor in a safe manner. So that means why it is starting in a safe manner means here having a number of resistances in 3-point starter, a number of resistances are connected in series with the armature. Why the number of resistances are connected in series with the armature means at the time of starting DC motor, a huge amount of current will be taking place. Huge amount of current will be drawing this motor. Okay, in order to mitigate, in order to reduce that high starting current, so we are using a 3-point starter. Okay, and in order the 3-point starter will having a 2 coils. The important 2 coils are overload release coil, which is nothing but OLR coil, and NVC coil, hold on coil, which is also called hold on coil or no volt coil. NVC means no volt coil, and OLR means overload release coil, which gives the protection from overload. So OLR coil purpose is to protect the motor from the overload. Okay, NVC coil is to hold the machine completely to the supply. That means if you switch on the supply, the motor is not connected to the supply. Why? Because here the starter is there. I already told that at the time of starting, motor draws huge amount of current. So in order to reduce that, we are connecting a number of resistances connected in series. Why? Because resistance will oppose that current. Okay, so number of resistances are connected in series means the resistance will increase. That maximum resistance value we are keeping in series with the armature. So the armature current is reduced at the time of starting. Okay, so that's why you are using a 3-point starter. So what is the purpose of 3-point starter? In order to start the motor in a safe manner, we are using a 3-point starter. So that means the purpose of 3-point starter is to limit the. So here I am writing the purpose of 3-point starter to limit the starting current. Okay, and to start the DC motor safe manner, in a safe manner. Okay, that is the purpose of a 3-point starter. Okay, so by switch on that, now I'm starting the procedure. Okay, switch on the DPST switch, so ensure that supply is connected to the circuit. So 3-point starter is having a handle, so that handle is moved to the on position, so that motor is getting supply full rated voltage. So motor is starts rotating. Okay, so after motor is starts rotating, so we can note down the readings of IL and IF. It is indicated here. So the IL is indicated through this ammeter and IF is indicated through this ammeter. Okay, we can note down the readings. Okay, so this field rheostat, this is the field rheostat. Here we are kept this position. Field rheostat is at minimum resistance position. We are kept this position at a minimum resistance position. So why? Because if this is at minimum resistance position, means RF is minimum. RF is nothing but field resistance. If the field resistance is minimum, what happens to the field current? Field current is maximum. If the field current is maximum, what happens to the flux? Flux is maximum. If the flux is maximum, what happens to the speed? Speed is minimum. So in order to safe start a DC motor, we are taking that, we are keeping this position field resistance as a minimum resistance position. Okay, this is an important point. Okay, in order to safe start the DC motor, we are keeping the RF field rheostat. Field rheostat is in minimum resistance position. Okay, this is an important point. So by varying this resistance in steps, we will note down the corresponding readings of IL and IF. Okay, up to here clear?
Yes, sir.
So initially the resistance is at minimum resistance point. We are talking about a speed. Here the speed is measured with a tachometer. So the readings we have to observe is this is the tabular form. N indicates the speed and IF is the field current. Okay, so this is the IF value which is indicated in this ammeter, and the speed is noted with the help of tachometer. So tachometer is a measuring device which measures the speed of a rotating machine. Okay, so with the help of a tachometer, we can note down the speed. Okay, suppose if the field current is at 2.2 amperes. Okay, why? Because at starting field current is maximum. At starting field current is maximum. Corresponding speed value is low. That means 1000 RPM. This is the low value. Okay, if you increase the resistance, this is the RF minimum. Okay, so now increase the resistance. What happens to the field current? Field current will reduce. If the field current reduces, what happens to the flux? What happens to the flux? Flux will
Decrease.
reduce. Why? Because it will follows the current. It will follow, the flux is always follows the current. Okay, if the current is reduced, means flux will reduce. Okay, according to the speed equation, N is inversely proportional to phi. Okay, if the flux is reduced, means what happens to speed? Speed will increase. Okay, that means if you reduce the current, that means by increasing the field resistance, by increasing the field rheostats, okay, position, by wearing this jockey position, the field resistance is increased. If the field resistance increase, what happens to field current? Field current is reduced. That means 2 amperes corresponding 1100 rpm. Okay, so like that we are getting. Again, we are wearing this resistance position. Okay, that means the field current value is reduced. Let up to 1.5. Okay, you are getting 1200 rpm. Okay, similarly, next we will vary the resistance in steps manner up to maximum. We will achieve about 2000 rpm. Okay, that is at one position. That means at a particular 0. 1.0 we are getting a 1500 rpm, suppose. Okay, for example, I'm taking this at 1 ampere, we are getting a 1500 rpm. The rated, this is the rated value of this is the rated value, rated speed, which is indicated on the nameplate details of the machine. Okay, on the motor. If we reduce the current, that means 0.9. So that means we are getting increased values of rated current, increased values of rated rpm. Okay, so that means in this way we will get a rated above rated speeds. Okay, have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is the help of 3-point starter? Hello.
Yes,
Sir, to limit the starting current, sir. And to store DC motor
Yes.
safe manner, sir.
Yes. 3-point starter purpose is to limit the starting current. Okay, and to start the DC motor in a safe manner. Okay, that is the purpose of a 3-point starter. In 3-point starter, you are having two coils: overload release coil and no volt coil. Okay, which is also, no volt coil is also called as hold on coil. Remember this word, hold on coil. The word indicates that the handle should be in a hold on. That means suppose I'm drawing the rough diagram of a 3-point starter. So these are the number of resistances. Okay, here there is an on position, this is an final stud, these are the studs. Okay, here you are having a handle like this. So you are rotating this handle. Okay, here there is an on position, there is a magnet, a coil like this. Okay, here you are having an iron piece. This iron piece is attached. So if you are moving these studs by moving the handle, okay, when this is okay, so this iron piece is touches this coil. So what happens? It is behaves as a magnet. So it is completely lock position. It is in completely lock position. Okay, so this coil is called as a hold on coil. It will remain until the supply until the supply is turned off. Okay, so that is the purpose of this no volt coil. So it remains the coil or handle in complete on position until the supply is turned off. That is the purpose of the hold on coil. Okay, suppose if the supply is break due to power cut. Okay, due to spring action, the handle is, due to spring action, the handle is coming backwards like this, off position. This is an off position, this is an on position. Okay, this is the rough diagram. Anyway, we will talk about later. 3-point starter. So what is the advantage of this method? Above rated speeds are achieved by using this method. Okay, now I am drawing the graph for this. So this is an experiment also we are having in the lab, the laboratory. This is one of the experiment, speed control methods of a DC motor. This is one of the experiment. Okay, so you are taking readings for speed and field current. So let y-axis is represented as a speed, on x-axis field current. You take the field current. Okay, so according to the values you got, so you can plot the values. So we will get a inverse proportional relationship. That means at a higher, at lower values, so you can see 0.5. Suppose I am indicating here 0.5. This is a 0.5 amperes. 2000 rpm is the maximum. This is a 2000 rpm. So both points are intersected this. If you indicate like dotted lines, so this is the one point, and I will indicate the high value of current. So this is indicated as a high value. 2.2 amperes. Okay, what is the value of 1000? So 1000 means we will indicating here. Okay, so if you interconnect these 2 points, so we got a sub point. So touch these 2 points with a graph curve shape. You'll get, sorry. So you'll get curve like the rough diagram. So the characteristics of flux control method is inverse characteristics. You'll get inverse characteristics. That means at why? Because we are according to the speed equation, n is inversely proportional to phi. So by varying the flux here, by varying the flux, the speed is increased. In this way, you'll get aberrated speeds. Okay. So this is the one of the control method, speed control method, which are used in industries to achieve aberrated speeds. Okay. Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll see about a second method. So I'm erasing this. Any
Yes, sir.
any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So armature resistance control method. So here we are what you are doing is, so we are increasing the armature resistance. That means so armature is resistance is a internal resistance of the armature. So we are adding the external resistance with a rheostat. Okay. So what happens here? Resistance, overall resistance is increased. If this overall resistance is increased, what happens to IA value? IA will less. Why? Because if resistance in the armature is increased, the current flowing in the armature is decreased according to Ohm's law. Okay, V is equals to IR. So I is inversely proportional to R. So if the resistance is increased, what happens to current? Current will less. Okay. In the same manner, resistance in the armature is increased here. What happens to IA? IA will decrease. If IA decreases, what happens to IARA? IARA will also decrease. If IARA decreases, what happens to V minus IARA? Increase. If this is increased, this difference is increased, what happens to EB value? EB value will increase. Okay, we are talking about shunt motor. We are talking about shunt motor. In shunt motor, the EB is nothing but V minus IRA. Okay, if this whole value is increased, means EB is increased. According to this, what happens to speed equation? Speed is directly proportional to EB. If EB is increased, what happens to speed increase? Okay, that means at the time of starting, we are adding a number of resistances in series with the armature. Okay, so at that time we'll get a high speed. So by reducing, after that we are reducing the resistance value. We are reducing the resistance value, means what happens? This value is reduced. If this value is reduced, what happens to IA? IA will increase. If IA increases, what happens to IRA? IRA will increase. If IRA increases, what happens to V minus IRA? decrease. If this is increased means decrease means EB value will decrease. If EB value will decrease means what happens to speed? Speed value will decrease. So in this way, we'll get below rated speeds by using this method. Okay. Anyway, we'll discuss with the laboratory experiment by drawing the circuit diagram here. So here we are keeping a maximum resistance position. Why? Because I already told that here resistance is increased at the time of starting. At the time of starting, resistance value is high. Why? Because speed value is high. Why speed is high? Because here the speed value will depends on the EB value. EB value will high. At the time of starting, EB value is high. In order to make EB value as high, we are keeping this resistance position as maximum resistance position. Remember this point. Now we are connecting to the variable terminal only. Why? Because that rheostat is variable here.
Sir, some are waiting in the lobby, sir.
Here you are keeping a voltmeter connected in parallel with a voltmeter connected in parallel with a armature. Why? Because here you are indirectly varying the EB value. Indirectly varying the EB value. EB value is indicated in, that is the voltage value. It is indicated in voltmeter only. Okay. That's why I have placed here voltmeter. This voltmeter indicates EB value. Okay. Remember this point. Okay. What is this? This is a 3-point starter. Okay. So here having a 3-point starter. What is the purpose of 3-point starter?
To limit the starting current.
I already told that. To limit the starting current of a DC motor. Okay. What is the LAF represents? L means line. L is the first terminal of a 3-point starter. A is the second terminal. L means line. Okay. A means armature. It is connected to armature. Okay. L means line. It is connected to line. Positive. Okay. A means armature. It should be connected to, this terminal should be connected to armature only. Okay. So it is connected to armature. F means field. It is connected to field winding. So you can see here. Okay. These are the 3 terminals. That's why it is called as a 3-point starter. It is having 3 terminals. That's why it is called as a 3-point starter. Okay. So why here placing another resistance in the field? Discuss that. So here we are placing a field rheostat again. Why? Because in order to obtain rated speeds, to adjust the speed of a motor to rated speeds, we are keeping a rheostat in the field. Okay, suppose we are placing the armature resistance as at a maximum resistance position to get the speed as maximum. Okay, if the speed of if the speed of the motor is not getting at a rated speed, if we are not getting at rated speed, then we want to vary this field rheostat in order to achieve the rated speed. Okay, that is the purpose of this field rheostat. Okay, ఈ రియోస్టాట్ మీరు మాక్సిమం రెసిస్టెన్స్ పొజిషన్లో పెట్టినా సరే మీకు రేటెడ్ స్పీడ్ రావట్లేదు అంటే అప్పుడు ఈ ఫీల్డ్ రియోస్టాట్ వేరీ చేసి రేటెడ్ స్పీడ్ అడ్జస్ట్ చేస్తారు. దట్ ఈస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ ఫీల్డ్ రియోస్టాట్. ఓకే, అండర్స్టూడ్?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we'll see about procedure of this. Okay, so initially this resistance armature in series resistance is kept at maximum resistance position. If this is at maximum resistance position, so I already told that R plus R external resistance is increased here. Okay, we are placing it a maximum resistance position. RA will increase. If RA increases, what happens to IA? At the starting, IA will reduce. If IA reduces, what happens to IRA? IRA will reduce. If IRA reduces, what is a V minus IRA? So I already written here. Okay, increases. If this is increases, what happens to EB? EB will increase. Okay, so that means at starting, if you close this switch and rotate the handle of a 3-point starter to on position, that means the supply is connected to the circuit. Okay, with this particular armature resistance is in maximum resistance position. This voltmeter indicates the maximum voltage value. This voltmeter indicates the maximum voltage value. Why? Because EB is maximum at the time of starting. Okay, observe that value in the lab. Okay, while doing the experiment. And next, we want to observe the speed at this particular EB maximum value. What is the speed? It will be indicated through N is directly proportional to E. At the time of starting, what is the speed value? Speed value will also maximum. Okay, now we are varying this resistance from maximum. This is the maximum resistance position. This is the minimum resistance position. From this maximum resistance position, moving towards the minimum resistance position in steps manner. Okay, that means if you vary this position to that means we are moving towards the minimum resistance position, means the resistance value is decreased here. Resistance value is decreased means what happens to current? RA value will decrease. If RA decreases, what happens to current? Current will increase. If current increases, IARA will increase. Drop in the armature is increased. If drop in the armature is increased, what happens to V minus IRA? Decrease. If V minus IRA is nothing but a EB equation for a shunt motor, we are taking it as a shunt motor. So you can see here field winding is connected in parallel with armature and supply. So it is nothing but a shunt motor. For shunt motor, what is the EB equation? Which is nothing but V minus IRA. If V minus IRA is decreases, means EB value will decrease. As EB is directly proportional to N, so we can say that if EB value will decreases, means speed value will decrease. So which in turn decreases the speed, which is measured with a tachometer. Okay, so that means at every point of varying this armature resistance value, we will note down the corresponding readings of EB and speed. Okay, correspondingly the speed value will also decrease. So for example, we'll take that readings. We'll consider the readings with an example. Here you are noting down the speed and EB value. This is the table At the starting value, what is the EB value? EB value is maximum, which is nothing but 220 example. Okay. Speed value is at nearly equal to rated speed. That is a maximum value. Okay. So if you decrease the resistance from maximum resistance to minimum resistance, so EB value will also, EB value, what happens to EB value? EB value will also decrease. If EB decreases, what happens to speed?
Decrease.
Speed value will also decrease. So we are varying in steps. So we are varying in steps. So its value is decreased to 200. The speed value will also decrease to 1400 RPM. Similarly, if you varying this from armature rheostat from maximum resistance to minimum resistance like this, so you'll get the readings like this. Okay. Up to you are getting 1000 RPM. So you should not stop the DC motor. So if you go on like this, the voltage is getting decreased. So at position 50 volts, so you'll get the speed value as 0. Why? Because the speed decreased up to nearly a low value. So at somewhat speed, the speed is almost nearer to 0. Okay. So we should not stop the DC motor. We'll steady just, we can see here below rated speeds are possible. Suppose the motor rated speed is 1500 RPM. We want to run the speed of a DC motor with 1000 RPM. We need to connect in this manner. Then only we'll get 1000 RPM. Okay. Suppose if you want to get a 1500 RPM, okay, you should run the DC motor under no load condition. You'll get a 1500 RPM. Suppose by loading it a DC motor, we should get a 1000 RPM means we will connect this type of control technique. Okay, this is the one of the control technique to control the speed of a DC motor. So by using this method, we will get a below rated speeds. Okay, this particular application is used in industries. So particularly we can see in steel plant, there are rolling mills. Okay, the steel rolls will come through a crane. Okay, that crane is completely rolled. Okay, with a speed which is an equal speed. Okay, at that time we are using a DC motors there. So the speed will be very low value. Suppose it will run with a very low of 500 RPM. There it is used here. Okay, this type of control technique is used there. That means armature resistance control technique is used there. So in order to, why? Because the nameplate tells the rated speed is already specified. That is above the value which is required. So that means if you, the speed of the DC motor should run at 500 RPM, but the rating of a DC motor speed is above 500. That means it is about 750 or 1000 RPM. Okay, but we want to run only at the speed of 500 RPM. At that case, we will particularly use this particular condition control technique in order to get that 500 RPM speed. Okay, understood? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So according to this, we will draw the graph. Anyway, today we will not continue with the testing. Okay, I'll stop by this topic. Okay, so this topic takes only 5 seconds to draw graph. So what are the parameters you are measuring here? Speed and back EMF. So take the speed on y-axis and back EMF on a x-axis. Okay. So I already told that you'll get a maximum value at maximum value of voltage. So indicate those 2 points. These are the maximum value of EB and this is the maximum value of speed. So I will interconnect these 2 points. So this is the maximum value of a point. This is the speed maximum and this is maximum. Okay. So from this, what you are doing by varying this armature resistance, So that means armature resistance is decreased. If the armature resistance is decreased, what happens to EB? EB value will also decrease. Correspondingly, speed will also decrease like this. 0. If EB value is 0 means what happens to speed? Speed value will also 0. So we should not make the speed value as 0. That is not the criteria. We will decrease the speed value with a rated speed value. So this is the below rated speed value. And the rated speed is nothing but this is the rated speed value. And at rated speed you are getting a rate. N rate value. So we are getting a low value of speed. This is called as a N below. Okay. This is the no load value. Okay, understood? This
Yes,
is the
sir.
graph, particular graph of a armature control method. Okay. So you can now post your attendance in a serial order in the chat box. Hello. So it is completed now. By using this armature resistance control method, advantage of this armature resistance control method is this is the advantage of this particular method. Okay, with this I'm ending this close. Okay, you can post your attendance in the chat box in the serial order. Okay. Hello. Students, one thing. In the laboratory, we have completed 2 experiments, I think. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Anyone can
Yes,
respond.
sir. Definitely complete.
We have completed 2 experiments. Okay. Um, are you written any observation?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So please, from onwards, please write observation. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So how can you write your observation means? So I already told that how to write observation. So from on the left side of the page, you should draw the circuit diagram, not horizontally. That means in a landscape mode. You should write in a landscape mode. Okay. So you should draw the landscape mode circuit diagram. On the right side top, you should mention the title of the experiment. That means it is, suppose it is a verification of Kirchhoff laws. Suppose you are writing for verification of Kirchhoff laws. That is the title of the experiment. And you should write the aim, apparatus. Apparatus is having a table. You should note down the table. Okay. And mention the ranges. And after that, you should start the procedure. In the observation, you don't need to write the theory. Okay. Write a procedure of the experiment. After that, tabular form on the left side. Again, tabular form should be on the left side. Okay. Any calculations should be on the left side only. Okay. Any more doubts? So please write your observations by the next week. That means next coming lab. Okay. So we'll.
Okay, sir.
I think we are having a lab in the next session, tomorrow. So tomorrow you should complete the 2 experiments in the observation. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.